And we're back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network as it's time for Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. After the Woodchucks won Game 1 by a score of 3-2, they're looking to now sweep the doubleheader and split the season series here at Witter Field. They improved to 2-3 here at the home of the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. They won their third game overall in the season series and are now 3-7 against the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. 3 runs was enough to get the job done. Wow, the Raptors only scored 2. Henry Cohn, starting pitcher, goes 7 1/3 on the mound. Only allows 5 hits and 2 runs, which are both solo home runs, to Ty Johnson and Brendan Bobo. And that was it for Wisconsin Rapids. They had bases loaded that they left stranded with only 1 out after Garrett Lott picked up his first save, struck out 4 in an inning and 2/3 of work to get a save, and struck out Brendan Bobo with bases loaded, and also Orlando Lordoy in the 8th, then picked up another 2 in the 9th against Kyle Carlson and Aiden Brewer. And now the Rafters, who had their 6-game win streak broke by the Woodchucks in Game 1, now sit at 16-12 in the second half, as well as 36-27 overall. Wausau now at a record of 11-18 in the second half and 31-33 overall. Woodchucks going for a sweep. They're throwing out this batting order in Game 2. Mike Adair, Christian Mitchell, Mike McGinnis, Andrew Jimenez, Trent Van Ness, Carson Richter, Ryan Blanchard, Evan Funkhauser, and Dwight Allen. And then for the Raptors on defense here in Game 2 in the outfield, from left to right, it's Anthony Gallison, Ty Johnson, Orlando Lordoy. On the corners, Kyle Carlson at third. At first, Brendan Bobo. Up the middle, Aiden Brewer at shortstop. Joseph Borovich at second base. Behind the dish, Alex Duffy. And on the mound is Mitchell Whitcamp for the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. Mitchell Whitcamp, making his 10th overall appearance in his second start, has an ERA of 7.71, walks and hits per innings pitched rate of 1.71, an opposing batting average of 299. The right-hander Whitcamp has gone 16 1/3 on the mound, has allowed 20 hits, 18 runs, 14 earned, has struck out 9, and has walked 8. So Mitchell Whitcamp, the Salisbury University product from Bel Air, Maryland, facing off against the Woodchucks for the first time this season, and last made appearance on July 30th of 3 innings against the Green Bay Rockers, where he allowed 1 hit, was walked 1 and struck out 1. 11 batters faced, and a 9-1 win over the Rockers. That was the first game of the 6-game win streak, as Adair fouls off the first pitch fastball from Whitcamp. 0-1 to Adair is swung at, foul again. This one is in playable territory, and it is caught by third baseman Kyle Carlson. That's out number 1 and a foul flyout for Mike Adair. So Adair, who was 2 for 4 in Game 1, now starts off 0 for 1 here in Game number 2, as Christian Mitchell had a 3-hit game batting in the 2-hole here. He's playing left field in this game for the Woodchucks. Christian Mitchell now 3 straight multi-hit games for the Woodchucks. Back-to-back 2-hit games against Madison, then 3 different singles and an RBI in Game 1. Mitchell puts it on the ground to Aiden Brewer at shortstop, and Brewer's trigger in time to Brendan Bobo for out number 2. So that's 2 quick outs forced by Mitchell Whitcamp to start off the first inning of game number 2 here. This will only be a 7-inning game, by the way. So this game essentially starts in the 3rd, if you will, if you really think about it that way. But the top of the 7th inning could potentially be the last half inning of this game if Wisconsin Rapids is leading at that time. Obviously, we hope that's not the case here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network, as Wausau has a chance to split the season set here at Witter Field after going 1-3 in the first half at Witter Field. They have now won back-to-back games here at Witter Field, if you will, going back to the first half. 1-0 count to Mike McGinnis, who's looking to keep the inning alive against Mitchell Whitcamp in a righty-righty matchup. McGinnis now has at least one double in the last 4 games he's played in, as well as a couple of hits in Game 1 as well. Mike McGinnis hits this one in the air. It goes foul on the 2-0. That'll be 2-1 now. 2 for 5 in Game 1 was McGinnis. A single and a double, as well as a run scored. So McGinnis, who had a double last night against Madison as well, looking to keep Wausau alive here in the first as Whitcamp misses outside and low with a fastball. It gets away from catcher Alex Duffy. (3-1) now to McGinnis as Mike looks to lead off the inning, or keep the inning alive with a runner on base. He fouls off the pitch. McGinnis now playing in his 51st game as a Woodchuck, batting .243, has 44 hits, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, 34 runs batted in, 23 walks, 24 runs scored, and 12 stolen bases. The Georgia State Panther from Noonan, Georgia. Payoff pitch from Whitcamp. It's a fastball that misses high to McGinnis, and he will be walked. So Mike McGinnis reaches base, and that will keep things going for Andrew Jimenez. Another righty-righty matchup as Jimenez takes first pitch outside fastball with McGinnis now on first base. The Woodchucks technically had a base runner, or 2 base runners in the first inning of last game against Kalen Graham, who was technically the starter of last game. It was Will Haberstock picking up the loss, though, of Game 1 of this doubleheader. Henry Kilm picking up his first win, now 1-0 on the season. And that 4.5 ERA certainly going down. 1-0 to Andrew Jimenez, who also played first base in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Jimenez was 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a stolen base. Or actually, Jimenez replaced Colin Brigham in the game, so he was actually 1 for 2 since the walk was his first plate appearance. And then he hit a single in the 5th, a part of that 1-run inning for Wausau. His walk was in that 2-run inning that also picked up an RBI, walking in Dwight Allen. And it's a 2-0 count to Jimenez, the UW-Milwaukee Panther from South Elgin, Illinois. The 2-0 misses low and outside on an off-speed pitch from Whitcamp. And Jimenez, who is now batting .259 on the season, this being his 10th game played as a Woodchuck, has 7 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 5 walks. And he is going to take a 4-pitch walk. So with 2 outs, Whitcamp has walked a couple of guys in a row. And that will bring up Trent Van Ness. He was the replacement designated hitter in Game 1 after replacing Jake Baker, as Van Ness ended up being 0 for 3 in his 3 plate appearances in Game number 1. The UW-Stevens Point Pointer from Two Rivers, Wisconsin, the right fielder for the Woodchucks, Trent Van Ness, who takes first pitch high, fastball from Whitcamp, and McGinnis is going to head home off a bad throw from catcher Alex Duffy, and he's in there safely. So the Woodchucks add a run here early on in this game with 2 outs. First error put on the board by the Rafters, and McGinnis comes home because of it. Stolen base at third, and an error sends him home. And Jimenez also gets the second because of the error. That actually might go down as a stolen base. I'm not too sure what that'll go down as a scorebook, but McGinnis scores on an error. So the Woodchucks have an early lead of 1-0 here in Game 2 as they're looking for the doubleheader sweep today. And trying to give Chandler Freeman a little run support early. Chandler Freeman, the starting pitcher of this Game 2 here in the 7-inning contest between these two clubs. A guy who did go 6 full last time out on the mound against the Lakeshore Chinooks this past Sunday. 1-1 to Van Ness with Jimenez in scoring position. And Van Ness hits this one down the right field line. It's going to tail foul. The wind blowing in from left field in this game. It was blowing out into right field in game 1. So kind of interesting how the wind is able to maneuver like that. That's the reason why Ty Johnson hit a home run early on in the game of game 1. So Chuck's up 1-0 early here. 1-2 count to Trent Van Ness. As Van Ness fouls off the fastball to stay alive at 1-2. Now playing his 8th game with 3 hits, batting 125 is Van Ness. Those 3 hits consist of a double and a home run as well. 3 RBIs for Van Ness, as well as 6 walks and 3 runs scored. Trent Van Ness. 1-2. Taken outside on an off-speed pitch from Whitcamp. Last time out for Mitchell Whitcamp came against the Green Bay Rockers, like mentioned. First time against the Wausau Woodchucks this season. 2-2 to Van Ness is hit into left center field. But it is going to be Ty Johnson in center who does make the grab. So that'll be a fly out for Van Ness, which will end the first here. But the Woodchucks do add a run early. No hits on the board, but a couple of walks and a stolen base with an error is what brought on home Mike McGinnis. And a little bit of early run support for Chandler Freeman. We'll introduce the Woodchucks defense when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
It is now Wausau on defense here in the bottom of the first. And this is how they go out there for game 2 in the outfield from left to right. Christian Mitchell, Dwight Allen, and Trent Van Ness. At the corners in the infield, Mike McGinnis at third, Andrew Jimenez at first base up the middle. You got Evan Funkhauser at shortstop, Ryan Blanchard at second base. Behind the dish is Carson Richter, and on the mound is the soon-to-be Abilene Christian Wildcat from Burnett, Texas. It is Chandler Freeman. A recent Baylor Bear, now turned Abilene Christian Wildcat. Chandler Freeman on for the 6th time, making his 4th start, has a 1-0 record, a 7.62 earned run average, 1.46 walks and hits per innings pitch rate, 13 innings on the mound, 13 strikeouts, 10 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, has walk 9, has an opposing batting average of 208. And he's first facing off against Ty Johnson here for the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. Ty Johnson, who had a fantastic game at the plate, picked up 3 of the Rafter hits in game 1, as Freeman can't find the outer half with each of his first 2 pitches, 2 fastballs to Ty Johnson who's already up in the count 2-0. Chandler Freeman coming off an outing of 6 full innings against the Lakeshore Chinooks last Sunday, where 4 of them were hitless. He went 1-2-3 in the first 4 innings of the game against Lakeshore, and then would end up allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, walked 1. Did not pick up the loss, though, to Lakeshore. 3-0 to Ty Johnson, as Freeman cannot find the strike zone with any of the first few pitches. That is a leadoff walk to Johnson. So Ty Johnson, who ended up going 3 for 4 in game 1, with a home run as well as 2 other singles, is on once again here in game 2. Ty Johnson's been all over the base path in this doubleheader so far. That brings up Aiden Brewer, the shortstop. North Carolina Greensboro product, as Freeman finally finds the strike zone. He throws his first strike of the night. Aiden Brewer. The native of Dexter, Michigan. 0-1 from Chandler Freeman. And the slider drops low for ball 1 to Aiden Brewer, who's now playing in his 13th game as a Rafter, batting .167 with 6 hits, 1 double, and 2 home runs, as well as 3 runs batted in. 1-1 from the right-hander, Chandler Freeman. Fastball strike 2 on the lower half. Brewer's also been walked 7 times, as well as scored 4 runs. As he looks for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Freeman 1-2 is fouled off as Johnson was heading to second base. A guy who does have 15 stolen bases on the season. So now the 1-2. Once again, and Brewer will foul it off for a second time. So Chandler Freeman dealing with a pesky Aiden Brewer so far, who has stayed alive on the past couple of strikes. Johnson, big lead at first, and nearly getting away from Andrew Jimenez is the throw from Chandler Freeman, but Jimenez dives off the bag to grab it. That definitely saved Ty Johnson from getting to second base, so good effort there by Jimenez to keep Johnson there for now at least. And the 1-2. Brewer hits this one into right field. That'll be a single, and the first hit of the game is on the board as Brewer puts runners on first and second now with his 7th hit as a Rafter. Did not have a hit in game 1. Brewer's batting in the 8 hole, was 0 for 3. As now that brings up a guy who hit a solo home run in game 1. It's Brendan Bobo with no outs here against Chandler Freeman. Brendan Bobo was struck out with bases loaded against Garrett Lott in game 1 of the 8th inning. One of 2 strikeouts that got out of a bases loaded jam as he takes first pitch. Low fastball from Chandler Freeman. 5-pitch arsenal for Freeman. Fastball, slider, changeup, cutter, and splitter. 0-1. And Bobo pops this one into left field. Christian Mitchell makes the grab. And that's out number 1. So Freeman picks up his first out. Neither base runner will move. As it is Orlando Lordoy now the right fielder in this game for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Another left-handed batter, Benedictine University at Mesa product, native of Panama, who is playing in his 17th game as a Rafter, batting .255 with 14 hits, 2 doubles, a home run, 9 RBIs, 4 walks, 2 runs scored, and a couple of stolen bases as well for Lordoy, who was playing center field in game 1. This is put on the ground to Ryan Blanchard. This could be a double play. 4-6-3 will do it. Ty Johnson gets the third, but Lordoy grounds into the 4-6-3 double play between Blanchard, Funkhauser, and Jimenez, and that will do it for the first. So the Woodchucks hold a 1-0 lead into the second of the 7th-inning game here from Witter Field on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. 1-0 Woodchucks here after the first of this 7-inning game here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Leading off the second for the Woodchucks will be Carson Richter, the catcher from Edgewood College by way of Lodi, Wisconsin. Carson Richter now playing only in his second game as a Woodchuck. In his first game, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks against these Rafters on Wednesday night. He's coming off a season with Edgewood where he played in 23 games, started 21. Soft roller to third baseman Kyle Carlson. That was off the foot of Richter. They're going to call that an out? It was fouled off his leg. All right, then. So they're going to call that an out, even though it was fouled off his leg. That's not the way that works, but I guess it is in this situation. So Richter grounds into a 5-3 to start the second here, as that brings up Ryan Blanchard, the California State Chico product. It's soon to be at least transferring from Feather River College in California, native of Eagle, Wisconsin. 0-1 fastball taken outside from Mitchell Whitcamp to Ryan Blanchard, the second baseman of this game. Now playing in his 8th game as a Woodchuck with a flat .100 batting average. A couple of hits which were both in his season debut against the Lakeshore Chinooks all the way back on May 31st. So has not had a hit since then. And that one back in his second stint with the Woodchucks in his 4th game played now in his second stint. Has a couple of RBIs, 6 walks, 6 runs, and a stolen base, including being 0 for 1 last night against the Madison Mallards. He was walked. 2-1 is swung at and missed for strike 2. So Blanchard now dealing with a 2-2 count. a returning Woodchuck from last summer after playing 8 games with the Chucks last year as well. Now playing in his 8th game again. This time around, 2-2. That hit Blanchard on the inside shoulder. So Whitcamp allows his third base runner, but none have been hits yet. The only team with a hit is the team who doesn't have a run yet either. So now with Blanchard aboard, that brings up Evan Funkhauser, the shortstop from Edwardsville, Illinois, by way of St. Charles Community College and the soon-to-be Lindenwood Lion. Blanchard at first, and Funkhauser takes first pitch ball 1 from Whitcamp in a righty-righty matchup. Funkhauser in game 1 still did not pick up his first hit, but was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. A run scored and 2 stolen bases. As he hits this one into left field on a line, Funkhauser has his first hit. Evan Funkhauser has his first hit as a Woodchuck, and it comes in his 10th game played. There we go, Evan Funkhauser. He finally gets on the board with the hit. And that puts runners on first and second with only 1 out for Dwight Allen, who was the leadoff man in game 1 of the doubleheader. At least in the resumption of it was originally Mark Schallenberger, but Schallenberger no longer with the team, of course. Last night in Madison, his last game. First pitch to Allen, low and away on a fastball. Evan Funkhauser, if you would have told me he was the person to put the first hit on the board for the Woodchucks tonight, I don't think I would have necessarily believed you, but I'm very happy that is the case. Because Evan Funkhauser has had a couple of well-hit balls into that area where he just picked up his first hit, but none have gone down for a hit. One was a line out into the glove of a third baseman. I want to say that game was against these Rafters, possibly. It's a long season. I forget where Funkhauser nearly had that first hit in. 2-0 to Allen is put on the ground to Aiden Brewer at shortstop. There's not going to be a double play, but Funkhauser's put out at second. So fielder's choice for Dwight Allen. And that puts 2 outs on the board as Blanchard now at third. So that brings on the top of the order Mike Adair, who can possibly put the Woodchucks on the board once again. Mike Adair, a guy who does now have 5 two-hit games since coming back to Wausau. Allen is off to second. He's going to steal that bag. And not even trying to throw is Alex Duffy, based on the fact that Ryan Blanchard might have tried to come home as well on a double steal. But now 2 runners in scoring position for Mike Adair, who, if he can pick up a hit here, will score 2 runs more than likely. 1-0 to the Dayton Flyer from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Mike Adair, playing in his 26th game as a Woodchuck, has 24 hits, batting .282. And if you take a look at that on-base percentage, it's at .435 as he takes ball 3 low. And on deck is Christian Mitchell, who had 3 hits in game 1. So if Mitchell can get on the board with his 4th hit of the day, that could do some nice damage to the Rafters. 3-0 to Adair is taken low, and Adair gets walked. That will load the bases, bringing up Christian Mitchell. Christian Mitchell now the only guy in the active roster batting over 300, as after his 3-hit game in game 1, that put him at a batting average of 300. Exactly. He now has 21 hits in 20 games played and has 3 straight multi-hit games now. 1-1 taken for strike, or the first pitch from Whitcamp, and the at-bat taken for strike 1 to Mitchell. The Central Michigan Chippewa turned Cincinnati Bearcat, now transferring to Cincinnati next year after his first freshman season at Central Michigan. Following his coach, he's making a lateral move to the Big 12 next year. And Mitchell hits this one in the air. It's going into center field. It's Ty Johnson who's tracking it, and that'll be a flyout. So Christian Mitchell now 0 for 2, flies out, and the Woodchucks lead bases loaded, stranded. As that could end up being an issue as we move later on into this game. Chandler Freeman of the Woodchucks defense back out there when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Bottom of the second inning, Chandler Freeman and the Woodchucks defense back out there facing off against at least 5, 6, 7 here for the Rafters, starting with Anthony Gallison, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, who's back in left field for this game. Freeman throws first pitch, strike one to Gallison. Forced a fly out to Brendan Bobo, and then the double play by Orlando Lordoy in the first to get out of a little bit of a jam. Ty Johnson left stranded at third base, as this one's hit into right field by Gallison, and it is Trent Van Ness out there for out number one. So as Gallison flies out, that will bring up the sixth hitter and the designated hitter in this game, James Bornick. As Bornick, who was playing first base in replacement of Garrett Broussard in game one, back out there for game two in the designated hitter role. Woodchucks now winners of 2 of 3, if you will, I suppose you could say. Even though that was technically splitting the 2-game set. That was a couple of Thursday and Friday nights ago now at Athletic Park and here at Witter Field. So that would have, at the time, broke a only 3-game losing streak as Bornick pops this one in the infield. Chandler Freeman is the pitcher who's calling it off, and he makes the grab himself. That's usually never the case, but he'll do it himself. So your typical P1 in the scorebook. Of course, you say that all the time. So now Chandler Freeman looking for a 1-2-3 inning on the mound as it's Kyle Carlson, the third baseman from Piedmont University in Georgia, coming to the plate. As Chandler Freeman. Now first pitch to Kyle Carlson is outside on a fastball. As Freeman looking to go 1-2-3, like I mentioned, against Kyle Carlson, who was also playing in game one, now playing game two, his 22nd game as a Rafter, batting .232. And he hits the 1-0 foul into the netting above the Woodchucks dugout. Ross Davis picks up his second win as a manager in game one. On the season, Kyle Carlson has 16 hits, 3 doubles, 11 RBIs. 1-1 from Freeman is fouled off again, right down on a fastball and into the netting behind home plate. Not a very big backstop here at Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Absolutely gorgeous night for baseball here in Wisconsin Rapids. And thankfully, there is no rain in tonight's forecast. As almost coming through on the slider was Kyle Carlson, but he lays off of the 1-2. It's now 2-2 to the Rafter third baseman. As Freeman looks for a 1-2-3, and he won't have it on that pitch. Tries the sinker, but misses a little low for ball 3. Carlson, who was playing in the spot of Garrett Broussard in game 1, was 0 for 3, including 2 strikeouts. Payoff pitch from Freeman is swung and missed it. So Freeman picks up his first strikeout, and that'll be a 1-2-3 from the soon-to-be Abilene Christian Wildcat. On the mound, Woodchucks will lead it 1-0 into the third of the 7-inning game here when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're cold.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
We're already into the third of this 7-inning game as it's the Woodchucks back up to bat, and it's Mike McGinnis who's up for his second time. He is still without a record at bat, but does have a stolen base and the 1 run scored for Wausau. Got home on the 1 error of the game so far. That was to the Rafters. Mike McGinnis puts it down the third base line. It's fair. It is fair. Mike McGinnis is going to stay at first, as just barely getting a glove on it was Kyle Carlson. And McGinnis, who hits one down the third base line, nearly had another double. But Carlson's glove just getting on it, barely put into foul territory, and he was able to hold McGinnis to only first base, as that brings up Andrew Jimenez for a second time. Jimenez is also without a record at bat. He was walked in his first plate appearance as he swings and misses through the first pitch elevated fastball from Mitchell Whitcamp, who's into his 3rd inning of work now. 1 run on 2 hits so far for the Woodchucks. None on 1 hit and 1 error for the Rafters of Wisconsin Rapids. McGinnis gets checked back at first base as the throw over to Brennan Bobo. Not in time from Whitcamp. Didn't even try to put the tag down, in fact. Pretty solid crowd here at Witter Field for these couple of games tonight. Fireworks night here at Witter Field. The season finale between these two at Witter Field this season. Then the overall season finale will be tomorrow at 1:05 at Athletic Park. You can listen to my call of tomorrow's game on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. Actual TV stream, which I definitely like more than radio, but I love doing both just the same. More of a TV guy, though, I'd say. As the fastball misses high to Jimenez. 2-1 count from Mitchell Whitcamp. As Whitcamp gets ready to deliver the pitch to Jimenez, who fouls it down into right field. Lordoy is tracking it, but that will go into the Woodchucks bullpen. In fact, Lordoy ran all the way into the cage of the Woodchucks bullpen to grab that baseball. It was a good enough track to actually run through the open door of the pitcher's spot for Wausau. So now 2-2 counts to Jimenez with no outs here in the top of the third. McGinnis, like mentioned, still at third base. And Jimenez hits one into right field. That's going to be another base hit. So back-to-back singles will put runners on first and second with no outs here in the third as the Woodchucks are looking to get back on the board. Give a little bit more run support to starting pitcher Chandler Freeman. As Jimenez now picks up another hit, his 8th, whereas McGinnis picked up hit number 45 of the season. And his last at-bat, that brings up Trent Van Ness once again, who flew out to center field and Ty Johnson last time up. And this time it's not only, there are no outs on the board for Van Ness. 0-1, he puts a bunt down the first base line. It's a good one. It's right to Brennan Bobo. And covering the bag will be second baseman Joseph Morovich. So Bobo picks it up down the first base line. But with one out, the Woodchucks now have 2 runners in scoring position for Carson Richter. So Van Ness just stays 0 for 1 because of the sacrifice. As Richter, who fouled one off his leg, and then it was called a ball in fair territory for some reason, was thrown out on a 5-3 off the first pitch he saw from Mitchell Whitcamp at his first at-bat. Now up for the second time, of course. 1-0 to the Edgewood College catcher. Last year was a Madison Mallard, Richter was. Played in 5 games with the Mallards last year, had 5 hits, 294 batting average, as the 2-0 misses low, and that'll be ball 3. So 3-0 count to Richter, as the Woodchucks are looking to add some more runs to this already 1-0 lead. 3-0 to Richter is going to be a fastball for strike 1. (3-1) now to Richter is going to be way outside and nearly gets away from Alex Duffy. Mike McGinnis might have tried to come home if that ball did get away from Duffy. But that'll be a 5-pitch walk to Richter's walk for the 3rd time this season now. And that will load the bases for a second time. That's going to draw out Brian Dyer from the bullpen of the Rafters. The Rafters, who had won 6 straight entering today, now just lost only their 3rd game of the season to Wausau. And fun fact, the Woodchucks are now better here than they are at Athletic Park. Now they're 2-3 here at Witterfield, whereas they're 1-4 against the Rafters at Athletic Park so far this season. Which you pretty much can't say that about any other team besides maybe Kokomo, who swept the Woodchucks at home. I guess technically speaking, Battle Creek was 1-2 at Athletic Park too, based on the fact they swept the doubleheader, which was technically the second game being a road game for the Woodchucks at home. So they were batting first that day at Athletic Park. Anywho, Ryan Blanchard now comes to the plate for a second time. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. He hits one down the third base line. And the infield's playing in, so if you can try to just hit a blooper single, that would definitely score a run for the Woodchucks, of course. 0-1 now to Blanchard, though, from Whitcamp. And Blanchard lays off the 0-1 that's taken outside on an off-speed pitch. 1-1 now to Blanchard, who was also left stranded at third base last time around. Woodchucks now with bases loaded for the second straight inning. Can they take advantage of it this time, though? 1-1. Blanchard hits it, and it's into the glove of Kyle Carlson. That'll be the one putout, but that will score Mike McGinnis. So the Woodchucks now up by a score of 2-0. As Blanchard, I'm going to say it's a fielder's choice. So now Jimenez is off the base path. So now it's Evan Funkhauser put the first hit on the board for the Woodchucks. Up for a second time. His first hit, and now his 10th game played, came in his last at-bat, which was an inning ago. As Wausau once again strikes early first. They're up 2-0, just like they were in game one earlier. One-0 coming to Evan Funkhauser. Outside on a fastball goes Mitchell Whitcamp. Have not been able to say this yet this year, but Evan Funkhauser 1 for 1. Very happy I'm able to say it now. Funkhauser, a great guy. Fun to be around as well. And he takes the 2-0 on an off speed for strike one from Whitcamp. As we await the 2-1. And Whitcamp's delivery, Funkhauser hits it into right field, but that will be into the glove of Orlando Lourdoy on a flyout. So Funkhauser tried to push, but was not able to get it any further than where it was caught by Lourdoy. That'll be out number 3, but the Woodchucks do add another run, take advantage of having the bases loaded. And it is 2-0 Woodchucks into the bottom of the third here from Witter Field in Game 2 of this doubleheader.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch. Or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Leading off the inning for the Rafters is Joseph Morovic. Lake County Community College product, who is facing off against Chandler Freeman for the first time. Freeman's only faced off against 7 batters so far in his first 2 innings of work on the mound. Has only allowed a couple of base runners, 1 hit and a walk. It was Ty Johnson and Aiden Brewer, as it's 0-1 to Morovic. And he swings and misses through the 0-1. That is strike 2 to the Rafters' second baseman, Morovic. Native of Spring Grove, Illinois. Freeman, 0-2. And that's going to be a breaking ball that catches the low outside corner. Punch out for Freeman, strikeout number 2 against Morovic. And if you go back now to the first, that is the 6th straight retired batter for Chandler Freeman on the mound, as Morovic going down brings up the catcher Alex Duffy. The Elon product from Bernardsville, New Jersey, Alex Duffy, who was the catcher in Wednesday's game against the Woodchucks. As he swings through the 1-0. And he does come around on the check swing on the 1-1, so that will be strike 2. Alex Duffy in the game on Wednesday was 1 for 3 with a walk and a single, as the 1-2 misses low. For ball 2 to Duffy, who is playing his 22nd game, batting .208, 11 hits, 1 double, 10 RBIs, 8 walks, and 6 runs scored for Duffy. 2-2 from Freeman. He's looked for out number 2 here in the second inning. And it won't come off that pitch. He misses high with the fastball, as Carson Richter not able to corral the ball behind home plate. As Freeman looking for now a 7th straight retired batter. Payoff pitch with 1 out. And it's going to miss low and inside on a slider. So Duffy works the count back up. Down 1-2, and he gets walked by Chandler Freeman. Second walk allowed by the right-hander. Freeman, who has allowed 9 walks in his 5 appearances thus far, now has allowed 2 already in this game, as that brings up the top of the order for the second time around. Ty Johnson, the Baylor Bear, or soon-to-be Baylor Bear, that is. Most recently a product of McLennan Community College. And first pitch, low fastball from Freeman. Freeman, a guy who did not pitch at all this past year with Baylor, but made 19 appearances in 2022 with 1 start as well. And before this summer, that was the last time he started a game as well. Was in 2022 with Baylor. 1-0 to Johnson is taken on the outer half on an off-speed pitch for strike number 1. A little cutter action by Chandler Freeman. In 2022, though, with Baylor, he had a 7.97 ERA, as well as 1 save, 20 1/3 pitched on the mound, 20 strikeouts, 24 hits, 21 runs, 18 allowed, earned. 22 walks given up, and also had an opposing batting average of .312. 1-1 to Ty Johnson. And Johnson is through the fastball. Foul tips it into the glove of Carson Richter. That will make the count 1-2. Freeman will deliver the pitch. And Johnson lined to the glove of Blanchard, and he won't be able to make the throw in time for the double play. But that was a well-hit ball by Johnson. Blanchard was there on the line out, though. And because of the fact he kind of had to make a diving attempt at it, didn't necessarily make a diving effort at it, but had to kind of slide in to make the grab. Getting back just in time was Duffy to first base, but that is out number 2 here in the third, which brings up Aiden Brewer for a second time, who has the only hit on the board so far in this game for the Rafters. Retired for the first time today was Ty Johnson there, by the way, as Brewer takes first pitch inside off speed for ball 1. Brewer, who was then put out at second base on the 4-6-3 double play that ended the first. Looking to keep up his offense. 1-0 from Freeman is going to be hit on a line into left field. Christian Mitchell grabs it right above the ground. He tried to find the gap in left center as Christian Mitchell just barely makes the grab. And that will do it for the third. Wausau still leads at 2-0 into the top of the fourth here in this Game 2 of the doubleheader here from Whitterfield on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Mitchell Whitcamp's time on the pitching mound is over after 3 full innings of work. He allows 3 hits, walks 3, strikes out none, and allows the 2 runs. So the Woodchucks enter the game now as Christian Casillas, the right-hander from Los Angeles Harbor College. And by way of Downey, California, the 6'3 right-hander, making his 5th appearance with the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. And comes in with an ERA of 15.75. Has a walks and hits per innings pitched of 3.25 and opposing batting average of 333. In his 4 innings of work, he's allowed 6 hits, 7 runs, all earned, has walked 7, only has struck out 1 for Christian Casillas, and he makes Dwight Allen swing through the first pitch fastball for strike 1. Dwight Allen is 0 for 1 with a reach on fielder's choice as well as a stolen base. Casillas coming in for the 5th time, like mentioned, first time since this past Saturday against Green Bay. Dwight Allen into left field. That'll be a leadoff single. And the 4th hit on the board for the Woodchucks. So now with Dwight Allen aboard, that is the 7th hit allowed now in 5 appearances by Christian Casillas. And it's Mike Adair up for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. On a 3-game hit streak is Mike Adair, as well as a now 11-game on-base streak since coming back to the Woodchucks. I'll have to go back after this game and figure out how long the on-base streak has actually gone for, because even when he left Wausau, he was on an on-base streak. So I'll go back and figure that out to be able to talk about tomorrow on the Northwoods League Baseball Network, because it's a very significant stat. This guy does nothing but reach base, I swear. He has been one of the toughest outs I've seen from either side lately. Dwight Allen's off to second. Adair puts it on the ground, so Dwight Allen's going to be safe at second, but he will ground out into a 4-3. So thankfully, Dwight Allen did steal second at first. I don't think it's going to go down as a stolen base attempt, though, because of the fact that it was a ground ball by Adair. So now it's Christian Mitchell's already 0 for 2 after his 3-hit performance in Game 1. He's got Dwight Allen in scoring position. He did hit an RBI single in Game 1, a part of his 3 hits, all singles, one being a bunt single as well. And the first pitch from the right-hander, Casillas, gets away from Alex Stuffing. Easily taking third base is Dwight Allen. So that'll be 0-1, or 1-0 rather, with a runner on third. So if Christian Mitchell can just hit one into the outfield, at least the regular outfield, I guess you would say, that would score the 3rd run for the Woodchucks already in the game. 1-0 count coming to Mitchell from Casillas. And Mitchell hits it blooper into right field. That will be an RBI single, and the Woodchucks lead it 3-0. Mitchell picks up another hit. And make that 4 hits now on the day for the soon-to-be Cincinnati Bearcat. Christian Mitchell has been hitting the ball very, very well recently. And he is now 1 for 3 with another RBI in the game. Back-to-back games now today with RBIs for Christian Mitchell. And that brings up Mike McGinnis, who is already 1 for 1. Has also scored 2 of the 3 runs so far for the Woodchucks, who now lead it 3-0. Only 1 out still in the inning. McGinnis 0-1 from Casillas. As McGinnis hits this one to left field. And he is going to stay at first base, but that will put Mitchell at third. So McGinnis now is 2 for 2 in this game. And Wausau is looking to add on to the already 3-0 lead now with runners on the corners, only 1 out. 3 singles now in the inning by Dwight Allen, Christian Mitchell, and Mike McGinnis. McGinnis is off to second, but Jimenez fouls it off, so he'll have to head back to first. Woodchucks do like to try and do this double steal thing with runners on the corners. Because if the other team tries to make the throw, then the Woodchucks usually send the guy at third home as well. 0-1 again, and McGinnis is not going to go this time as Jimenez takes the 0-1 breaking ball for strike 2. Jimenez, 1 for 1 as well, has one of the 6 hits already in the game for the Woodchucks, who had 9 in the first game. 0-2. As Jimenez is looking to keep the offense rolling for the Woodchucks here against Casillas. McGinnis is now in a bit of a pickle as Christian Mitchell is not going to go home, and he is tagged on the base path. So McGinnis gets picked off. Anella puts 2 outs on the board. McGinnis got kind of caught in no man's land as Casillas checked back to him when he was already off the bag too far. 0-2 to Jimenez is up the middle. Jimenez puts his second single on the board, and this time it's an RBI. It's 4-0 Wausau. And they have now tied the season high for runs scored here in a game at Whitterfield. So Jimenez now 2 for 2 in the game as well. Fourth hit of the inning for the Woodchucks. They've all been singles. That brings up Trent Van Ness. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt as the first pitch to Van Ness in this at-bat misses outside on an off-speed. Van Ness has also flown out in this game. He flew out to Ty Johnson in center field. 1-0 from Casillas outside again on a fastball. Alex Duffy just getting to it in time so that Andrew Jimenez now, who's at first base, could not advance to second, as the Woodchucks are in some nice business here, trying to sweep today's doubleheader. And now string together a couple of wins back-to-back against the Rafters and split the season set here at Whitterfield. And Van Ness pops this one in the air. It's into shallow left field, and there to make the grab is Anthony Gallison. So that'll be out number 3 on the board, but the Woodchucks add a couple, and they now lead it 4-0 as Chandler Freeman has some nice run support into the bottom of the fourth, where he'll look to keep Wausau in front by a score of 4-0 into the 5th. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
The Woodchucks lead it 4-0 here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. It is the bottom of the 4th as Wausau has some nice run support for Chandler Freeman, who, if he can complete this inning, would be in line for the win in this 7-inning game. You only need to be on the mound for 4 as a pitcher in a 7-inning doubleheader game to pick up a win, if that is how the game turns out. So Freeman, who has gone 3 full so far, has only allowed 1 hit, and it was to Aiden Brewer. He's facing off against Brennan Bobo once again. Brennan Bobo flew out on a little shallow fly ball to Christian Mitchell last time he came to the plate in the first. And the 1-1 to Bobo from Freeman is taken low for ball 2 on a splitter from Freeman. Bobo, who is currently the Northwoods leader in home runs of all time, now at 29 after his home run in game 1, a solo shot to right field off Henry Cohn, as that one's hit down the left field line, and Christian Mitchell's going to grab it. Bobo's going to not try for second, but that is the second hit on the board for the Rafters, and Bobo leads off the 4th with a single. Bobo pushes one into left field. As that'll bring up Orlando Lordoy, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play that ended the first inning. So Lordoy looking to string together a couple of at-bats in a row now for the Rafters, who only picked up their second hit against Freeman with that Bobo single. Fun fact for all of you listening out there, the most runs scored in a game here at Whitterfield between these two this season has been 4, and it's been by the Woodchucks now twice. Neither side has scored more than 4 runs here in any of the now 12 games, or not 12, 6 games play between these two here at Whitterfield. The Rafters won by a score of 3-0, then back-to-back 3-2 wins. Now it's the Woodchucks who have back-to-back wins of 4-1 and 3-2. Inside pitch hits Lordoy, and Freeman has allowed back-to-back base runners with no outs here in the 4th. Hit him on the inside of his leg, as I think Ross Davis is going to come out and have a conversation with Freeman. Yeah, he is. Ross Davis is going to go out there and talk with his right-hander, Chandler Freeman, after allowing a couple of base runners back-to-back. Don't want to get into an uncomfortable position with Anthony Gallison coming to the plate, but that is a righty-righty matchup. As Gallison will be the 3rd hitter of the inning for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, who, like mentioned, had their 6-game win streak come to an end in Game 1, as Wausau was able to win a very close Game 1, where the only 2 Rafter runs came off 2 different solo home runs by Ty Johnson and Brennan Bobo, who broke the home run record on Thursday night against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders here. First pitch way inside to Gallison. And Freeman has to calm himself down a little bit. Like mentioned last time out against Lakeshore, we went through 4 hitless innings, all 1-2-3 against the Chinooks. 12 up, 12 down, as there is a strike thrown. It is fouled off for strike 1 to Gallison. 1-1 count to the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. Gallison already 0 for 1, flew out to Trent Van Ness to end, or begin the second inning rather. One to Anthony Gallison. Chandler Freeman will pitch a high fastball. That's ball 2 to Gallison. James Bornick on deck for the Rafters. Exact same situation they had in the first inning, though. Runners on first and second, no outs, but they would not score a run. So let's see if Freeman can do the same thing as the first here. 2-1. And that one just misses the low inside corner. Oh, they're going to call a balk. So that pitch does not happen. It's a balk that advances each runner. So now the double play ball is not in effect. A balk advances each Bobo and Lordoy. So the Raptors now in business to try and score their first runs of the game. Now the 2-1. And that one is popped up in the infield. Ryan Blanchard's the one who's looking at it, and he will catch it. That's out number 1. So Galson now 0 for 2. As that brings up James Bornick, who popped up in the infield as well. And it was the Chandler Freeman for out number 2 in the second last time up, the Marion University in Wisconsin product. So funny enough, you got a team who, okay, this is actually a funny thing. So Bornick is a guy who is from Green Bay, goes to Marion, and there's Northwoods League teams in Green Bay and at Marion University with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. He chose to play for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. I just think that's kind of funny how that's the case. A native of Green Bay doesn't decide to play for his hometown Rockers and doesn't decide to play for his hometown for school purposes, the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. He comes to Wisconsin Rapids. 1-0 to Bornick. And that will just miss a little low for ball 2 from Freeman. So Bornick up in the count 2-0 now. As Bornick playing now in his 7th game, batting .211 with the Rafters. That's at least what he came into today batting. That one is popped up into left field, and Christian Mitchell does not have it. So coming home to score is going to be Brennan Bobo, and that's going to be the 3rd hit on the board for the Raptors. A blooper RBI single for James Bornick puts Wisconsin Rapids on the board. Staying at second is Lourdois. But the double play ball is back into effect. And I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to allow that run. Christian Mitchell tried to make a diving effort at it, but could not corral. First time he's playing the outfield in the game this season. As Chandler Freeman's going to step off the mound, as Lourdois had a big lead at second base. That's going to be a disengagement, so you can't do it again this at bat. Kyle Carlson is one of 2 strikeouts for Freeman so far. Woodchucks looking for a ground ball. Double play ball well in effect. And he fouls off the first pitch from Freeman on a fastball, so he'll be down 0-1. Kyle Carlson, the Piedmont University product. 3rd baseman from Marietta, Georgia. Oh, 1 coming from Chandler Freeman. Low and outside on a slider. Good stop by Carson Richter behind the plate to make sure neither runner could advance. That's ball 1, though. First run on the board for the Rafters off the RBI single by James Bornick. As swinging through the off speed is Kyle Carlson. He's down 1-2 now. And in a righty-righty match, you have to think that Freeman's going to work the slider here. Try to throw it low in the zone, make him hit a ground ball. 1-2. And he did just that. But he lays off it, does Carlson. So that'll be ball 2. 2-2 count. It is even. As Carlson is looking to avoid being out number 2 in the inning. And Freeman's 2-2 delivery is going to be hit into shallow right field. That's going to drop in foul territory. He tried to push. He broke his bat in the process. So he stays alive at 2-2. As the Raptors are trying to string together some at-bats and keep this inning moving. Two-two. Once again to Carlson. Freeman will pitch a low slider. Lourdois off to third. He'll be sliding in safely. But the double play ball still stays in effect. As staying at first was Bornick. But reaching on the wild pitch to third base was Lourdois. Runners on the corners with 1 out as the Rafters are looking for more than just 1 in the inning. Payoff pitch to Carlson. Freeman will throw it right down Broadway, and Carlson swings through it. That is the 3rd strikeout for the right-hander, and Carlson has now been struck out twice. And that's going to be it for Chandler Freeman. So Ross Davis is coming out to make a pitching change. He's signaled to the bullpen. It looks like it's going to be Garrett Brunstetter coming into the game. So Freeman goes 3 2/3. He won't be in line for the win because of the fact he only went 3 2/3. But Garrett Brunstetter will be facing off next against the left-handed batting Joseph Morovich when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just 1 line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
After 3 2/3 on the mound by Chandler Freeman, he allows 3 hits, walks 2, strikes out 3, and at least has allowed 1 run. That might change depending on how the rest of this inning goes, but coming in with 2 outs and facing off against a new left-hander is the left-handed pitcher, Garrett Brunstetter, who's facing off first against the left-handed batting Joseph Morovich. Brunstetter coming in for the 3rd time as the Woodchuck. His last time was to start against these Rafters in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Monday. He has a 5.79 ERA, 3.21 walks and hits per innings pitched rate, 4 2/3 innings of work on the mound. Has struck out 5, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. Has walked 7, and has an opposing batting average of .400. In that outing against the Rafters, that start on Monday in the doubleheader, the second game, that 7-inning game, he went 3 full, striking out 3, allowing 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Walked 4 in that game. And pretty much all of that came from the first inning of that game, as he was very solid besides that. Oh, so the Rafters are going to be putting in a pinch hitter. So David Smigelski is going to be pinch hitting for Joseph Morovich. They're putting in a righty to face off against the left-handed throwing Garrett Brunstetter, the Western Kentucky Hilltopper. As that ball gets away from Richter on the first pitch, and advancing to second is James Bornick. So runners now on second and third for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. And Bornick and Lordoy as Smigelski, the catcher from LaGrange Community College in Illinois or LaGrange College in Georgia, rather. I get a little confused with that because there is a LaGrange from nearby where I'm from in Illinois. He's from Clinton, Georgia. Swings through the 1-0 from the Western Kentucky Hilltopper. Smigelski has the best batting average on the team, technically. In 7 games played, he's batting .375, is the right-handed batting Smigelski. 6 hits and 16 at-bats for Smigelski, as Brunstetter is looking to get the 1 out he needs to keep the Woodchucks up 4-1 into the 5th. 2-1. Outside will drop on a curveball. Brunstetter features your good old lefty asset, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. And it's a 3-1 count to Smigelski with Alex Duffy, a left-handed batting catcher, on deck. 3-1 to Smigelski. That's going to miss low as it gets away from Richter, and coming home on the wild pitch will be Lordoy. So the Raptors answer the 2 scored by the Woodchucks in the 4th here, and it's 4-2. And also taking a walk was Smigelski, as that one missed outside and low. So 5-pitch walk in the first batter face for Brunstetter, who dealt with a lot of walks let up right out the bat in Game 1 on Monday. As it's another pinch hitter coming in the game now for the Rafters. This is Jack Gifford coming into the game, so I imagine that Smigelski's going to be the new catcher, and that Gifford is going to replace someone in the outfield, or might just come in to play second base, or they might move Ty Johnson in from center to play second base. That's probably what they'll do, actually. So Jack Gifford, another righty, batting in the spot of Alex Duffy now. 1-0 from Brunstetter, misses low. Brunstetter cannot really find the strike zone so far. Two-0 coming from Brunstetter. And that one finds the strike zone on the breaking ball. 2-1 count now. As coming into this game, Jack Gifford has only played 2, the Cabrillo College product in California. And the 2-1 is swung and missed out on a breaking ball by Brunstetter. He has 1 hit and 7 at-bats, and that came against the Woodchucks. It was a leadoff single, or a first at-bat single for Gifford on Wednesday, but he swings and misses, and Brunstetter picks up a strikeout. So Gifford swings through the 2-2, and that'll be out number 3. But the Rafters do add a couple, and they get back into this game. It's 4-2 after 4 in this 7-inning Game 2 of today's doubleheader here from Whitterfield. You're listening to Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Only going one inning on the mound is Christian Casillas. He allows 4 hits and 2 runs. Both were earned. As now making some defensive adjustments were the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. David Smigelski now catching. Orlando Lordoy moves to center field. And right field now is Jack Gifford, and playing second base is Ty Johnson. And a new pitcher in the game for the Rafters is number 15, Blake Barker, who picked up the save against the Woodchucks in Game 2 of Monday's doubleheader. And somehow, someway, Julian Tristan, who gave up 5 runs in the 9th, got the win, which is just hilarious how baseball works sometimes. But Blake Barker, the left-hander, is making his 18th appearance. A 1-2 record with 3 saves, 4.5 ERA, whip of 1.35, and opposing batting average of 225. He's first facing off against Carson Richter here. First pitch, low fastball for ball 1 to Richter. It'll be 6, 7, 8 at least here in the 5th for the Woodchucks, who lead it 4-2 into the latter part of this game, if you will. This is pretty much like the 7th inning in a 7-inning game, if you think about it that way. As Richter takes fastball for strike 1 from Barker, who in 20 innings on the mound has allowed 16 hits, 10 runs all earned, has struck out 15 and walked 11. Richter fouls off the 1-1. And it is now 1-2 from the left-hander from Seton Hill University, not Seton Hall, Seton Hill in Ohio. Native of Chardon, Ohio. Blake Barker, as the 1-2 misses low on a fastball. This guy's pretty much a strict fastball pitcher, one of those kind of guys. And his last time out was that outing against the Woodchucks for 1 full, only facing off his 3 batters, striking out 1 and picking up the save. He has faced off against the Woodchucks twice now as Richter hits one on the ground to Ty Johnson, who's now at second base, and that'll be a ground out of Carson Richter to start off the 5th. Richter now is 0 for 2. He has only gone 1 full on the mound each time he's faced off against the Woodchucks. And now he's facing off against Ryan Blanchard, who did pick up an RBI in the 3rd. Drove in Mike McGinnis. RBI fielder's choice for Ryan Blanchard. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. 0-1 now from Barker is fouled into the dugout of the Woodchucks. And Christian Mitchell down the dugout saying, no, hit it that way. Hit it the other way. Not toward us. Hit it the other way. Heads up down there, Chucks. 0-2 from Barker to Blanchard. And Blanchard holds off a low outside fastball. 6'2 left-hander. Has some high velocity behind his fastball. Barker, the 1-2, is low and outside again. That one at 92 miles an hour. 2-2 to the Chico State product. And Blanchard holds off again on a low outside fastball. So after being down 0-2, 3 straight low outside fastballs by Blake Barker makes the count full as Blanchard looks to be the first base runner of the inning for Wausau. Payoff pitch from Barker is low, and Blanchard will be walked. He recovers off an 0-2 count, takes 4 straight balls that were all low, whether outside or not. And Blanchard now is a 1-out base runner for the Chucks, which brings up Evan Funkhauser. Neither side has scored more than 4 in a game here at Winterfield between these two this season. The Woodchucks have the most scored in a game at 4, just like they did today and did in the first win of now back-to-back wins here at Winterfield, if you will. 0-1 from Barker to Funkhauser is low on a fastball. Really working the fastball so far. Like I mentioned, he would, is Barker. 1-1 to the soon-to-be Lindenwood Lion, Evan Funkhauser. And it's a high fastball. Barker kind of reminds me of like an Aroldis Chapman type pitcher. Mostly goes fastball, will throw like a breaking ball or an off-speed here or there. As Funkhauser swings through the 2-1, it's now 2-2. He's also lefty, so that's also why I made the comparison. Aroldis Chapman, also a lefty. And the 2-2. Funkhauser will be fanned. Out number 2 here in the inning is a swinging strikeout by Funkhauser. So that'll bring up Dwight Allen, who in the game is 1 for 2 with a reach out fielder's choice and a run scored as well as a stolen base. Dwight Allen, the Georgia Bulldog from Milton, Georgia. Looking to keep the inning alive for the Woodchucks, who have the top of the order due up. If he can't get on base, as finding the lower half of the strike zone with the first pitch of the at-bat is Blake Barker. 0-1 now to Dwight Allen. Very interesting move by Kirk Schreider, putting in a lefty to face off against 4 straight righties. Then again, it's a very righty-heavy lineup for the Woodchucks, especially with no more Donahoe, Schallenberger, Brigham, Baker, all those guys who are lefties no longer with the team. The only lefty in the lineup in this game tonight, actually, is Mike Adair, who is the leadoff man. 1-1 to Dwight Allen. And Dwight Allen hits this one past the glove of Ty Johnson. 2-hit game for Dwight Allen. Back-to-back innings with a single for Allen now. And that will bring up the top of the order and Mike Adair. Woodchucks going through it now for a 4th time. Mike Adair is 0 for 2 with a walk. So his on-base streak now at 12 games since coming back with the Woodchucks. And if you want to go season-wide, it's longer than that. But since he's been back, he has reached base at least once every time as Adair fouls off the first pitch fastball by Barker. Definitely try to do more of a push swing there. Try to let the bat get a little behind his shoulders. The Dayton Flyer, transfer from Seminole State in Oklahoma. Runners on first and second for the Woodchucks here. 0-1 from Barker. Just misses outside, according to home plate umpire Andrew Thomas in this game. Mike Adair still looking for his first hit of the game. Also has a 3-game hit streak, like I mentioned, working. As that one gets away from Smigelski behind the plate, each runner will be allowed to advance to the next bag. So that'll put 2 runners in scoring position now, in Allen and Blanchard. Off a wild pitch. That was a breaking ball, a rare breaking ball from Barker. Getting a little chilly here tonight in Wisconsin Rapids. 2-1, and Adair swings under it. The count's now 2-2, as Mike is looking to keep the inning going for Wausau with 2 runners in scoring position. Trying to give a little bit of help to Garrett Brunstetter, who I imagine will be coming back out to pitch. 2-2. Adair puts it on the ground. It is to Brewer at shortstop, and his play will be in time to Brennan Bobo. Mike Adair grounds out once again, and that will do it for the 5th. Wausau strands 2 in scoring position and still leads it 4-2 into the bottom of the 5th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. Ty Johnson leads off the inning here in the bottom of the 5th against Garrett Brunstetter, lefty-lefty matchup. 4-2 game here at Witter Field in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Johnson puts a bunt down. It's fouled down the third base line, so that'll be strike 1. Woodchucks defense was not ready for that, and Johnson, a speedster, a big speedster at that, definitely would have had a chance to beat that out. Johnson is 0 for 1 with a walk in the game. The first time he was retired today was in the 3rd, last time up, as he swings through the breaking ball by Brunstetter. He's down 0-2. Obviously, a lefty facing off against a lefty puts the left-handed pitcher at an advantage, not the batter. And Brunstetter's 0-2 drops just low. Brunstetter, native of Louisville, Kentucky. Like mentioned, in now for the 3rd time as a Woodchuck. 1-2. And Johnson thought about it, but does not come around, according to third base umpire Steve Bartelstein. Bartelstein, who was at home plate in Game 1. Now it's Andrew Thomas. The umpire is just shifting one rotation clockwise. And Johnson hits one in the air into right field. And it is a home run. Johnson has hit another home run. That's his second of the day, and he has 2. So now all of a sudden the game is 4-3 as the Raptors have scored 3 unanswered runs. Well, we got another good one for you here, folks. As now Brunstetter facing off against Aiden Brewer. He had Johnson down 0-2, then Johnson hits another run out of here to right field. Johnson had 1 home run coming into today, now has 3 on the season. Hit his first one off Henry Cohn in game 1, now has one off Garrett Brunstetter, a lefty, here in game 2 of the doubleheader. 1-1 from Brunstetter to Brewer is going to miss high on an off-speed pitch. And the 2-1 fastball just misses outside to Brewer. It's now 3-1. As Brunstetter has allowed his first earned run of the game. And his first run overall, the solo shot to Johnson. 3-1 will be a 5-pitch walk, and Brewer is aboard. Ross Davis, the pitching coach, going out there to talk with Garrett Brunstetter as Brendan Bobo is coming up once again for the Raptors. Bobo also hit a solo home run in game 1, one of 3 of the day for the Raptors, 2 of them being to Ty Johnson. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Johnson's got the better of 2 breaking balls today. As Brunstetter still looking to pick up a first out here in the bottom of the 5th now, as an arm is loosening up in the pen for the Woodchucks. But the leading run comes to the plate for the Raptors in Brennan Bobo, who is 1 for 2, hit a single in his last at-bat. That came against Chandler Freeman. As Bobo has 2 hits across games. Wild pitch thrown by Brunstetter, who put Brewer at second base. So much for a double play ball. As the tying run now in scoring position for the Rafters. 1-0 in the lefty-lefty matchup. Whereas the left-handed batter having the advantage last time this was the case. 1-0 to Bobo. And he swings through the high fastball. One to the Cal State Fullerton product from Santa Cruz, California, Brennan Bobo. And he's through it again. This time an inside off-speed pitch by... Oh, I guess it was an inside fastball. Inside fastball from Garrett Brunstetter. Looking for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Hoping to keep the Woodchucks up in front into the 6th inning. And Bobo has struck out. Second strikeout. For Garrett Brunstetter, and it comes against Brennan Bobo. That brings up Orlando Lordoy, who still has Aiden Brewer in scoring position. Now another lefty that Brunstetter's going to face off against. The third lefty now in this inning as Lordoy takes a high fastball for ball 1. Lordoy is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch last time he came up and scored the second of 3 runs now for the Raptors in the game. This is going to be another close finish here between these two, as the Woodchucks are looking to split the season set here at Whitterfield with the Rafters. 1-0 is going to clip the low outside corner for strike one. Bobo now 1 for 3 with that single, and also the first of 3 runs scored now for the Rafters. 1-1 with a big lead for Brewer at second base. And that's a fastball right down the middle for strike two. I don't know why Lordoy was given like a ooh look to that. That was pretty obviously a strike in my opinion, but I guess I might have a different vantage point as an announcer, being at more of an elevated angle toward the field rather than a batter who's right in the batter's box. 1-2. And Brunstetter picks up back-to-back strikeouts of left-handed batters. Lordoy swings through that pitch, and Brunstetter picks up a couple of quick strikeouts, as that will be a full inning of work for Brunstetter, and Ross Davis is going to make another call to the bullpen. We'll introduce a new pitcher for the Woodchucks when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Garrett Brunstetter has gone one full inning on the mound, as coming in is a right-handed pitcher to face off against right-handed batting Anthony Gallus, and it's Logan Haslam. Logan Haslam coming in for the second time as a Woodchuck, native of San Ramon, California, from Willamette University in Oregon. He's looking to come in and get one out to keep the Woodchucks up 4-3 into the sixth. First pitch to Gallison is a fastball for strike one. Haslam came in for 3 full innings on the mound against the Rafters on Wednesday in the 7-4 loss. Picked up 4 strikeouts, allowed only 3 hits and 1 walk. No runs for Haslam on the mound. 0-1 is low in the ground in the dirt, and just picked up by Richter to be able to hold off Aiden Brewer getting to third base. Back-to-back strikeouts of Bobo and Lordoy for Brunstetter. Put 2 outs on the board here in the bottom of the 5th, which this feels like the bottom of the 7th in actuality due to the fact this is only a 7-inning game, like I've mentioned a handful of times. Brewer is off to third. Good throw from Carson Richter, but he is going to be safe in there with a stolen base. Carson Richter Did put a great throw down on it. There was a better play by Brewer. That was strike 2, though. But the tying run is 90 feet away if Brewer is able to find a way to score from Gallison. It has to be a hit, though. It has to be a hit. 1-2 from Haslam. And Gallison puts it on the ground to Funkhauser. 6-3 ground out, and the Woodchucks will stay up 4-3 into the 6th inning. Haslam gets the one out he needs, and the Woodchucks are back at the bat when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Christian Mitchell leads off the top of the 6th inning for the Woodchucks, facing off against the left-handed throwing Blake Barker. Mitchell, now with 2 different RBI singles on the day. He's 1 for 3 in Game 2 so far, the left fielder in this game for the Woodchucks. First time playing the outfield for the soon-to-be Cincinnati Bearcat as he fouls off the 1-0, and the bat boy made a diving attempt at a ball that was fouled into the netting, but he could not grab it. Initially, at least. I don't know, there's downtime in baseball. 1-1 to Mitchell, drops low on a off-speed pitch. So now 2-1 to the Woodchucks left fielder. And Mitchell fouls it off the helmet of David Smegelski. That has to be a little rattling, but hopefully he'll be all right. That's why catchers wear helmets, exactly right there. Andrew Thomas, the home baseman. The home baseman. That is not how you say home plate umpire, but okay. Anyways, 2-2 to Mitchell, as Andrew Thomas was checking with Barker and both Smegelski as well. 2-2's outside and low on a sinker. That will make the count full. It'll be 2-3-4 for the Woodchucks here with Mitchell, McGinnis, and Jimenez. As the payoff pitch to Mitchell will be outside, and that will be a leadoff walk to Mitchell, who doesn't realize he's been walked yet. Mitchell didn't realize that was ball 4. I was wondering what he was doing standing there for so long. Ross Davis had to come out of the dugout and be like, hey, that's ball 4. So the leadoff man is aboard for the Woodchucks here in the 6th with Christian Mitchell, as they're hoping to give some run support to Logan Haslam, as Mike McGinnis is back up once again, and he is already 2 for 2, has 2 different singles, has scored 2 of the 4 runs, has stolen a base, and has also walked. So McGinnis is looking to stay perfect at the plate in this game. And he's facing off against the left-handed throwing Blake Barker. (2-0) to McGinnis, as Barker has not found his spot in these past couple of pitches. But now he finds a fastball that McGinnis swings through. That was the low outside corner. And that'll be strike 1 in this at-bat to the Georgia State Panther, Mike McGinnis. Playing third base in this game, was in right field in game 1. Has 4 straight games with a double. Doesn't have a double yet in this one, though, as the 2-1 clips the outer half for strike 2 from Barker. And McGinnis, obviously because of that double streak, he's also on a 4-game hit streak, coming into this one now at 5 games. 2-2, and McGinnis puts it up the middle. It's back to Barker. That'll be a putout of Mitchell at second, and getting away from Bobo is the throw from Ty Johnson, who was covering the bag. Or I guess that was Aiden Brewer's covering the bag. So it'll be a putout of Mitchell and a fielder's choice for McGinnis. That's his first 0 for 1 in the scorebook today, in this game 2 at least. So runner stays on first, but this time it's with 1 out instead of no outs for the Woodchucks. Andrew Jimenez, who is also 2 for 2 with a walk. Except his 2 for 2 includes an RBI, like Mike McGinnis's does not. Jimenez the 1-0 from Barker is taken high. Jimenez is also looking to remain perfect at the plate. (2-0) to the Woodchuck first baseman, make that 3-0. So McGinnis still on first. Jimenez 1 ball away from walking for a second time and staying 2 for 2. And that won't be on that pitch, as he finds the low outside corner, does Blake Barker, who's pitching his second inning now after 3 by Whitcamp and 1 by Casillas. 3-1 now from Barker. And that's going to catch the low inside corner. So Jimenez thought he was walked on back-to-back pitches, but the pretty wide strike zone tonight from Andrew Thomas makes this count 3-2. Payoff pitch to Jimenez. McGinnis is off to second, and Jimenez has been walked. So runners on first and second now. For Trent Van Ness. Van Ness is still without a hit in either game today, and still is only at 3. That included a double and a home run, and both of those were against Madison at Warner Park these past couple of nights. Actually, the home run was on Tuesday, the 1 run the Woodchucks scored in that 3-1 loss. Van Ness takes a fastball for strike 1 of the inner half from Barker, the right fielder from University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. Great guy, too. 0-1 to Van Ness. Finds the low inside corner. He's down 0-2, hoping to avoid being out number 2 in this top of the 6th, as the Woodchucks are hoping to get back in the run column for the first time since the 4th. Van Ness hits a fly ball to right field. McGinnis is going to tag. And the throw in from Gifford out there in right was just back to Aiden Brewer, who was the cutoff man. So McGinnis is now at third. Runners on the corners for Carson Richter. Richter still without a hit in Wausau. A first one could come at a big time as the Woodchucks could use some run support. Richter takes fastball for strike one, doesn't swing, thought about it for a second, but laid off. Oh, 0-1 to Richter, who is 0 for 2 in the game with a walk as a fastball misses outside from Barker. And getting to it in time was Smigelski. Getting to it in time meaning he caught it, not allowing it to get behind him. 1-1. It misses low and outside to Richter. Blanchard on deck if the Woodchucks are able to extend the inning, as that's going to draw Brian Dyer out from the dugout of the Rafters to go talk to Barker. Barker's only allowed one hit. It was that single to Dwight Allen, but he has allowed 3 walks already in an inning and 2/3 pitched. This is his longest outing against the Woodchucks so far this season, as each before this was only an inning long. Two 2-1 coming to Carson Richter after the mound visit as Richter fouls off a fastball. The count's now 2-2. Count is even. And Richter fouls off a 2-2 as Jimenez was trying to steal second. So we'll try the 2-2 once again as Richter's trying to put his first hit as a Woodchuck on the board. He can do it. Coming a big time. Jimenez off to second again. Richter into right field, and he does pick up his first hit as a Woodchuck. It's an RBI single, and Wausau is back on the board. They answer the 1-run scored by the Rafters in the bottom of the 5th, and they now have scored the most runs by either side here at Whitterfield this season. At least in the season series played here at Whitterfield. That is now 5 runs for the Woodchucks. Their most in a game at Whitterfield against the Rafters this season. 5-3 Wausau after the RBI single by Carson Richter. And each picking up their first hits as a Woodchuck tonight were Evan Funkhauser and now Carson Richter. And at third is Andrew Jimenez as Ryan Blanchard is coming to the plate. 1-0 count from Barker, who has led his first run to Wausau in now 3 appearances after that Richter RBI single. 9 hits now on the board for the Woodchucks and 5 runs to show for it. 4 hits and 3 runs for the Rafters, as well as 1 error for Wisconsin Rapids. They also had 1 error in game 1 of the doubleheader. As Blanchard takes the 2-0 high for ball 3, and he's 1 ball away from loading the bases with 2 outs. Wausau's looking for a doubleheader sweep and to split the season set here at Whitterfield. 3-0. That will find the outer half to Blanchard for strike 1. Like mentioned, Wausau lost the first 3 games here by scores of 3-0 and 3-2 for the other two. And then now have one back-to-back games here at Witter Field, as Blanchard will be walked. That's the fourth walk allowed by Blake Barker. Bases are loaded with 2 outs for Evan Funkhauser. So now Funkhauser, who is 1 for 3, hits the first pitch he sees in the air, and it will go foul. Picked up his first hit, now 10 games played did Funkhauser in the first inning. Oh, 1 to the Woodchucks shortstop. And that is strike 2 on a fastball by Barker. If Funkhauser is able to reach, Dwight Allen would bat for the second time in the same amount of innings. Just like Richter, Blanchard, now Funkhauser are. 0-2. High fastball for ball 1 to Funkhauser. One-two from Barker. Funkhauser swings and misses, and that'll be a strikeout for Barker. His second, both have come against Funkhauser. But the Woodchucks do add another. Lead bases loaded, stranded, and they lead it 5-3 into the bottom of the 6th, where Logan Haslam will continue his outing on the mound. We'll be back for the start of the bottom of the 6th when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Logan Haslam starts off the inning against James Bornick for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Bornick, the designated hitter, starting off 6-7-8 at least for the Raptors against Logan Haslam, who came in and got the one out he needed, a ground out forced to Anthony Gallison. And a righty-righty matchup. Now it's a righty against the lefty, and Haslam against Bornick. 2-0 count to the Marion Sabre. Haslam throws a fastball for strike 1. Haslam this past season at Willamette University in Oregon had himself quite a year. Very impressive numbers this past season. 17 appearances, 3-1, 1 save, a 4.06 ERA as Bornick fouls off the 2-1. That's going to go not into playable territory, so it'll be a 2-2 count. A 1.45 walks and hits per innings pitched rate at Willamette this past year for Haslam. 31 innings on the mound, 31 strikeouts, 29 hits allowed, 17 runs, 14 earned, and walks 16. 2-2. And that one is hit into right field, but is into the glove of Trent Van Ness by Bornick. So one down here as Haslam has retired the first two batters he's faced off against. It's coming in for Brunstetter. He's now the third pitcher used in this game. And I'm sure Ross Davis probably does not want to use another arm today. As Haslam goes first pitch strike to the right-handed batting Kyle Carlson, who was 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts. One of those being to Chandler Freeman and the other being to Garrett Brunstetter. As missing on the inside fastball is Haslam to Kyle Carlson. The third baseman once again in this game 2 of this doubleheader from Whitterfield. As this is a ground ball hit to Evan Funkhauser, plays it on the hop, and his throw will be in time to Jimenez for out number 2. So a second 6-3 ground out forced by Haslam on the mound. And he'll be looking for a 1-2-3-6 against David Smigelski, another right-handed batting catcher. Ever since the end of the third, this game has felt a lot longer in these last 3 innings than the first 3 innings, I'll tell you that much. As Smigelski lays off the first pitch outside fastball. Smigelski was walked in his first plate appearance. That came against Garrett Brunstetter. And now this one's hit into left field on line, but it's Christian Mitchell who's there. Well, Christian Mitchell fumbled the ball in left, but they're trying to make an argument he put both hands on it. Mitchell's trying to say he put both hands on it. The ball came out of his glove really fast, and the umpires called Smigelski safe. Mitchell is saying he put both hands on the ball, and then it came out of his glove. So the umpires called it a drop at first. Mitchell had it in his glove, and that just came out. Because it was a really quick motion. I thought he put 2 hands on it. And they're going to call it safe, so that's going to be an error on Christian Mitchell. They're going to say he dropped the ball in left field. Like mentioned, it's his first time playing the outfield this season. He's not even listed as an outfielder. He's listed as an infielder. They're going to put an error on the board for the Woodchucks there. So an error on Christian Mitchell as he drops the ball is going to put Smigelski at first. As Kirk Schreider is talking to home plate umpire Andrew Thomas about something before another pinch hitter is coming into the game for the Rafters. It's going to be Alex Castillo. So Alex Castillo is coming in to pinch hit for Jack Gifford. And Castillo, who was playing left field in game 1, now more than likely will be coming in to replace Jack Gifford, who was playing right field for a short time. Kirk Schreider putting a lefty in to hit against Haslam with 2 outs, even though the inning should be over. Christian Mitchell drops the ball in left field. And first pitch to Castillo from Haslam is a fastball for strike one. Castillo, who also did play in game one of the doubleheader, like mentioned. 0-1 from Haslam is going to be a fastball for strike two on the outer half. Castillo was 2 for 4, picked up his first 2 hits as a Rafter in game one of the doubleheader today. But Haslam's looking to shut the door in this inning. 0-2 to Castillo. Outside on the fastball goes Haslam. The Woodchucks are looking to be up 5-3 into the final frame of this game two, since the 7th inning is going to be it. This has been a long 6 innings. Very short resumption of game one. This has been a longer game two so far, though. Just about 2 hours and 15 minutes through this one so far. First pitch is just about 6:50. 2-2 to Castillo. And it's a ground ball. It is right to Jimenez at first base. That'll be an easy step on the bag for Andrew, and that will retire the side. So Mitchell does drop the ball, but it does not cause any damage done, as Wausau will be up 5-3 into the last frame here in game two, as they're looking for a doubleheader sweep here from Witter Field. We'll be back for the 7th on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-55.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Dwight Allen leads off for the Woodchucks here in the final frame of this game two of the doubleheader. We're into the top of the 7th where the Woodchucks are looking for a doubleheader sweep. It is 5-3 Wausau, looking for a bit of run support before trying to close this thing off and pick up back-to-back wins. They'd be winners of 3 of the last 4 if they're able to do so, and they would split the season set here at Witter Field 3 apiece. This is a team who entered today the Woodchucks had lost the last 4 games against, as Dwight Allen takes outside breaking ball from new pitcher Kyle Passat, who's coming in for only the second time as a Raptor. He's 1-0 with a 9 flat ERA in his 1 inning pitched. He allowed 2 hits, 1 run was earned, struck out 1. Has a whip of 2 flat so far, an opposing batting average of 400. So obviously he has 2 hits in 5 batters faced, if you do the math. I'm no mathematician, but that does make sense. He appeared Thursday night here against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders at Witter Field, where he did pick up the win due to the fact that he pitched the 9th inning of that game. Allowed a run, but the 4 runs scored by the Rafters in that bottom of the 9th gave them the win over the Dock Spiders. 3-2 is going to be a punch out of Dwight Allen that finds the outer half, so that'll be the second strikeout in now 2 appearances for Kyle Passat. Native of Magnolia, Texas, by way of Hendrix College, Passat. 1-0 count to Mike Adair now, top of the order for the Woodchucks. They're going through it for a 5th time in this game, as Adair fouls off the 1-0 against the right-handed throwing Passat. Adair is 0 for 3, and that one's hit into center field on a line, and coming in to make a diving grab is Orlando Lourdoy. Very impressive stuff by Lourdoy, and all you can do is tip your cap to that one. He robbed Mike Adair of his first hit, what would have been at least. And that's 2 up, 2 down here for Passat. As Christian Mitchell is looking to keep some offense working for the Woodchucks here in the inning, as a breaking ball misses inside to Mitchell. Mitchell, who is 1 for 3 rather. RBI single and a walk in this game. 1-0. Fastball clips the outer half for strike 1 from Passat. One. Mitchell takes low and outside on a slider. Two one to Mitchell. Low and outside fastball. On deck is Mike McGinnis at the inning. He's able to continue. A big strand of righties. The final 8 in the batting order, besides Mike Adair, all righties. And 3-1 to Mitchell. And he is late to the changeup. So now it'll be a 3-2 count, as Mitchell is looking to keep the inning alive for the Woodchucks before they'll try and shut the door and win their 2nd in a row. Payoff pitch from Passat is going to be a ball that catches the low outside corner, and Mitchell is struck out looking. So he picks up a couple of strikeouts, and that'll do it for the 7th 1-2-3 inning for Passat. But the Woodchucks do hold a lead of 5-3, and they need 3 outs to sweep this doubleheader today here at Witter Field. We'll see if they can do it as Logan Haslam looks for a save when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The Woodchucks need 3 more outs to split the season series here at Witter Field as Ty Johnson's the first man facing off against Logan Haslam. Has a chance to pick up his first save in his second appearance with the Woodchucks as he is hoping to give Wausau its second win of the day. 1-0 to Johnson is a fastball for strike one. Johnson hit a solo shot, his second of the day in his last at-bat against Garrett Brunstetter. As Johnson now has 2 home runs on the day after he came in with only 1 on the season in 57 games played. Ty Johnson, an Iron Man this summer for the Rafters. 2-1 from Haslam. And he is through a fastball, 2-2. Haslam in there at 90 miles an hour due to the TrackMan numbers. Johnson, Brewer, Bobo here, at least for the Rafters here in the top or bottom of the 7th, as Johnson just takes a fastball outside. And the count is full. (3-2) to Ty Johnson. And that's a ground ball. It's hit to Blanchard. Blanchard, pitch over to Jimenez, out number 1. And that is a big first out here in the 7th for the Woodchucks. 2 more outs. That brings up Aiden Brewer. Getting Johnson out is the big one, as Aiden Brewer is 1 for 2. Single in the first. Was walked in his last at-bat against Garrett Brunstetter. And now it's a righty-righty matchup. Fastball strike one from Haslam. Haslam has now gone an inning and 2/3. Like mentioned, went 3 full on Wednesday against the Rafters. Didn't allow a run. High fastball to Brewer. He lays off it. And Haslam did strike out 4. (1-1) coming to Aiden Brewer. And it's fouled off. As we await the 1-2 from Logan Haslam to Aiden Brewer. He's looking for a second out in just 2 batters faced here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2. Fouled off on a fastball. Aiden Brewer stays alive. The Woodchucks are looking to play big spoilers to the Rafters. Came into today a half game above first place Madison in the Great Lakes. And Madison did beat Fond du Lac. So if Wausau is able to win this game, which that one gets away from Carson Richter, throw over to Jimenez is in time! It was a drop third strike that got all the way to the basket. Carson Richter threw the ball from his knees over to Andrew Jimenez. It was a perfect throw. It had to be perfect. And Jimenez makes a huge stretch to keep his foot on the bag for out number 2. Wow. Massive play between Richter and Jimenez to make sure that Brewer does not reach base on a drop third strike. So if the Woodchucks are able to win this game, Madison will take first place back in the second half of the Great Lakes West. As Brendan Bobo could be the last batter up, and he is not the tying run at the plate just yet. And that's why getting out Brewer at first on the drop third was massive, because he got this guy at the plate right here, and he can tie anything with one swing of the bat. Brendan Bobo, 0-1 from Haslam. Fastball does not hit the low outside corner. Haslam looking to go 1-2-3 here in the 7th and shut the door, winning a double-header sweep for the Woodchucks. They won the first game 3-2. They're up 5-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1. Brandon Bobo swings through it. 1-2. Haslam needs one more strike. He has not allowed a base runner yet, as the only base runner that has reached was Smigelski off an error by Christian Mitchell. 1-2 to Bobo. Just taken outside on an off-speed pitch. 2-2 count. And Haslam's 2-2 delivery to Brendan Bobo. Outside on a fastball. 3-2. You might as well try to give him one to hit. See what can happen. Brendan Bobo's a guy who does strike out a lot, though. He does average over a strikeout per game. And he does have one in this game as well. Payoff pitch, 2 outs. Logan Haslam. Fastball taken high, and he has walked his first batter in 2 appearances as a Woodchuck. So now it's Orlando Lordoy, another lefty facing off against Haslam. He is the tying run at the plate. First pitch of Lordoy is outside on a fastball, and Haslam has missed his spot his past couple of pitches. That's going to draw Ross Davis out of the dugout to the pitching mound, as Haslam has been struggling to find his spot since he was up 1-2 against Brendan Bobo. The Woodchucks did allow a base runner with 2 outs and a 1-2 count in game 1. Garrett Lott picked up the save, but did allow a 2-out single in the bottom of the 9th in game 1. As Wausau's looking to win back-to-back close games here at Witter Field. A place where they were, I guess the record would be 2-7 if you include playoffs last year. They're looking to improve to 4-7 on the season against the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters and win 3 straight games here at Witter Field. 1-0 to Lordoy is hit in the air. It's into center field. Dwight Allen is under it. And that is your ball game. Dwight Allen makes the grab, but the Woodchucks have swept today's doubleheader. They win it by a score of 5-3. And they improve to 4-7 on the season against Wisconsin Rapids. They play big spoilers today to the Rafters, sweeping today's doubleheader by scores of 3-2 and 5-3. And now Wisconsin Rapids falls into second place behind Madison. You're welcome, Mallards. The Woodchucks helped you guys out. Tomorrow is the season finale between the Raptors and the Woodchucks back at Athletic Park. That'll be a 1:05 first pitch on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. You can hear my call there. But for now, we only have 2 more games left here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Tuesday night is our next one against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders down at Hare Baker Field. So until then, I'm Will Charlton saying see you next time. And once again, the Woodchucks sweep today's doubleheader and improve to 13-18 the second half, 32-33 overall. Have a good rest of your Saturday night, everyone, and go Chucks.